Hello lovely people, welcome back to another interesting sewing tutorial, which we are going to learn how to cut and sew this simple gathered dress that you see on the screen. This is the material that I'm using. I'll first of all draft the pattern for the upper bodies. That is my half scale bodies. Without wasting much of our time, let's get straight into the tutorial. Drafting both the front and the back panel together. As you can see, I have demarcated my pattern paper. So this will serve as my front, and this will be my center front. This is my back. This will serve as my back. This will be my center back, and this space here that I've left is my zipper allowance. So I'll just write the zipper allowance. So the straight line here to represent my shoulder line. So what I will do now will be for me to impute my shoulder measurement. So the shoulder I'm working with is 16 inches. When I divide 16 by 2, that gives me 8. So starting from where I'm using as my center back, I will mark my 8 inches. That is my 8 inches. Then starting from my center front, I will mark 8 inches as well. The next thing will be for me to impute my neck. For the neck, I'm using 3.5 for the front, neck depth of 4 inches. Then for the back, I'm using the same neck width of 3.5 inches. The neck depth for the back, I'm going to make use of 1 inch. So I'll go ahead and connect. Can you see? So I'm going to slope my shoulder by 1.5 inches for the front. Then I'll connect to my neck width. Can you see? Then for my back, I'm going to slope by 1 inch. Then I'll connect it as well. So the next thing will be for me to mark others of my vertical measurement. I will mark my bust line 10 inches. So I'll mark my 10 inches. And the next thing I will do is for me to mark from shoulder to the waistline. So from shoulder to the waistline for the front is 16.5 inches. So I'll mark my 16.5. Then for the back, shoulder to waistline for the back is 15 inches. So I'll mark my 15 inches. Then I will connect it. So I will name my point. This is my bust line. This is my waist line, which is the half length. And this is my waist line for the back. So the next thing I will do will be for me to mark upper chest line. You can do that by dividing your bust measurement by 6 plus 1.5. So the one I'm working with is 8 inches. So when I add this 1 inch that I slope the shoulder for the back, because I want to get one straight line, that will be 9 inches. So I will start from here and measure my 9 inches so that I can mark, can draw a straight line. Measure it here again. I will roll a straight line. So that is my chest line. And this is my chest line as well. So what I will do, I will impute my shoulder measurement again on that so that I can connect to this, my shoulder slope. And the shoulder I'm working with is 8 inches. Can you see? Then I will mark 3 inches from this point upward. Then from that point, I'm going to come in towards my center front by half of an inch. Then coming to my chest line, I will impute my bust measurement, divide by 4. So the one I'm working with is 9.75. Then I'll use my armhole cuff to connect from this my shoulder slope to this point and to this point. I will do the same thing for the back. Then for the back, on this line, I'm going to measure half of it. So this was 8 inches. Half of 8 is 4 inches. Then I'm going to come in by half of an inch as well. Then I will impute my bust measurement, divide by 4. So then I will connect from here to here to here. Can you see? So the next thing now will be for me to impute my darts. So for me to impute my darts on the waistline, I'm going to mark half of the bust span that I'm working with. So the one I'm working with is 4 inches, so I'll mark 4 here. Then on the bust, on the chest line, I will mark the same 4 inches. Then for the back, remember this is our back, then I'll come down by 1 inch for the back. So I'll roll my line. So my dart intake is going to be 1 inch. So I'll divide the 1 inch on the both sides, which will give me half of an inch. So I'll connect it. And you see that is my dart for the back. I'll do the same for the front. But for the front, I will mark my same 4 inches, then half inch dart intake on both sides. Then on the bust line, I will mark the same 4 inches. This time I'm connecting it directly to the bust point. Then the next thing I will do now will be for me to input the rest of my horizontal measurement. So I will come to my waistline. I will divide my waist circumference by 4. That gives me 8 inches. So I will mark 8 inches plus this 1 inch dart. So I'm going to mark 9 inches. Then I'm going to connect my line. Can you see? So I will impute the same waist measurement of 9 inches for the back pattern. Then I will roll a straight line as well. Can you see? Then I'll impute a bust dart of the difference between the back and the front waistline, which is 1.5. So I'll impute a bust dart of 1.5 inches. So I'll connect it to the bust point. Can you see? Now let's work on the zipper allowance for the back. So coming to the waistline, I'm going to come in by 1 inch. You can decide to come in by 0.7. It depends on the shape of the person you are working for. So I will connect it straight to my neckline, or you can decide to connect it to 2 inches below your neckline. It doesn't really matter. Can you see? So let's replot our zipper allowance. So I want to make use of 1.5 inches zipper allowance. So I'll now connect my new zipper allowance. Can you see? So I will extend this line. Remember to add your joining allowance on the shoulder, your joining allowance on the hemline, and also your side seam allowance. I have used my pattern to cut the fabric. This is my front piece. Can you see? These are my 2 back pieces. First thing, let's work on the upper bodice first. The first thing I will do will be for me to go ahead and turn the neckline. So I've cut this piece so that I can use and turn the neckline for the back. And I've cut this other one so that I can use for the front. So I will go to my sewing machine, I will turn the neckline, iron it, then I'll bring it for you to see. So I've turned the neckline. Can you see? This is the right side. This is the right side. So the next thing will be for me to join the shoulder. So I've gone ahead to pin down my shoulder. I'll use 0.5 inch to join the both shoulder. So I'll go to my sewing machine. After joining it, I'll bring it for you to see. So I've joined the shoulder. Can you see the both shoulders? This is the inside. I've ironed it. So the next thing will be for me to attach my sleeve. So I've gone ahead to use my basic sleeve pattern to cut this sleeve. So I'll go ahead and fold the hem of the sleeve. Then I will attach it and I'll bring it for you to see. If you don't know how to draft your basic sleeve pattern, I have a detailed video on my channel. Just go and watch it. So I've attached my sleeve for the goat sleeve. Can you see? The next thing I will do will be for me to go ahead and join my side seam. So I've joined my side seams. Can you see? The next thing now will be for me to go ahead and cut my gathers. So this is the one I'm using for my gathers. For you to know the quantity of fabric for the gathers, measure around your waist circumference. Whatever measurement you have, you multiply it by 2. If you want your gathers to be very full, you multiply it by 3. Then go ahead and cut your fabric. For the length of the gown, you have to minus your half length from the full length of the gown. For example, the full length of this gown will be 37 inches. So I'm going to minus my 17 inches, which was for the upper bodice from the 37, and I will be left with 20. So the length of my gathers will be 20 inches. I'm going to measure the down part of the upper bodice. So I will minus my zipper allowance of 1.5. Then I will measure the rest. So I have 36.5. So I'll go ahead and gather 37 inches. So I'll go to my sewing machine. I will gather this fabric when I have 36 inches. Then I will stop. So I've gathered the fabric. Can you see? So I'll go ahead and attach it to my upper bodice. I'm going to do that by turning it this way, right side facing each other. I'll go ahead and sew it and sew it. After sewing it, I'll bring it for you to see. I have attached the gathers. Can you see? This is the inside. And this is the outside of the gather. Can you see? So next thing will be for me to install my zipper. And then I will close the rest of my back piece. For me to do that, I will go ahead and mark my zipper allowance. Go ahead and mark my zipper allowance. And then I'm going to determine where I want my zipper to stop. I want my zipper to stop from the neckline up to 19.5 inches. So I'll go ahead and close from this place. I believe you can see. I'll close from this place that I want my zipper to stop to the hemline. Then I'll go ahead and install my zipper. So I've installed my zipper. Can you see? And then I've joined the remaining part of the back. So this is the final outcome of this tutorial. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. And I will see you on our next tutorial. Bye bye.